You know, every time you catch a fish, one of the first questions somebody asks is, what color were you using? You know, and really, when you think about it, what color were you using? There's a lot of things about color, and we're going to talk about them today, and we're going to show you some ways to look at color that you've never looked at it before. Stick around, because this episode of Fish Ed is going to be a really good one. He got it. Look at that. He came up and just smacked into it. Yep, there we go. You got him. He came, he took a look at it, thought about it for a second, and then up he came. You know what? That feels like a really good fish, too. Get down here. You know, oh yeah, what's wrong with that? There. That's a beautiful walleye right there. Look at that. He's got that glow spoon all the way down in his throat too. See if we can get that out. You know, one of the things, color is color to us. We know what color is. We're used to seeing it. We think of pink as pink, green is green, yellow is yellow. But you know, one of the things that happens when you go deeper, your color changes. You go up, color changes. So this is what happens when you get a buddy who says, we were fishing on Lake Winnebagosh and we caught them in 10 feet of water and we had to use pink. That was the hot color. And then you go out there and you find fish in 25 feet of water and you find out that green is your hot color. We really don't know. We know what the color looks like to us, but we do know that up and down in the water column it changes. And so to a fish, there's no way of telling what that exact color is. So it's really important a lot of times when you're out here. You know, I've got 4 rods rigged up. They've all got colors. It's trial and error to begin with. Fish deep water, we're going to try a couple of different colors and see how the fish respond to it. Fish shallow water, try a couple of other colors. It's all a game of trial and error, and as you go, you get a little bit more experience with it, and then things start to be more reliable. You can come up with a pattern and kind of say, okay, this situation, I've fished it 3-4 times before, and when I've done it this way, this particular color works good. A shallower water, clear water, maybe a different color. So always keep in mind, just because you heard a story that somebody caught fish on a color, don't rush out and think that that's the only color that you can use on that body of water, because you have to factor in whether you want shallow water reef, deep water over the mud, things like that. It's really important, and then we're going to try to figure out as we go what the fish sees, what that color looks like to the fish. I think you just stick with that concept and you're going to learn a lot about color in a hurry. Oh, look at that one go. He just came up and smacked into it. He just took a look at that thing. Whatever he saw, he liked it. He decided, I'm coming. He just grabbed a hold of it. See what we got here. A little smaller fish that time. Still a pretty, kind of nice one. I'll tell you what, that color is so important. That fish sat below there for a little while, looked at it, thought about it, and then he just, I'm going to get him back in the water kind of quick. You know, one of the things to think about when it comes to color, deep water, shallow water, you think about the water color, the water clarity makes as big of a difference to the color that you're going to be using as any other thing. Shallow, deep, that stuff all is obvious to us, but the difference in water clarity, and it doesn't have to be gigantic difference, it doesn't have to be muddy water versus gin clear water. There's all kinds of variations in between. What about a little bit of stain water, tannic stain water, or a little bit of iron stain in the water? Some water is a little green, some water is a little blue. Every one of those things influences the color that we might want to put on. So another thing to consider when you're trying to make your color choices is, the last time I used that color and it worked really well for me, was I in really super clear water or was it just sort of clear? or I had a real bright, fabulously glowing fluorescent type color, and I was using that in deep dark water. Well, that's beautiful. The fish can see it in those conditions, but it might be too much for them. You go into a clear body of water and that's just way too much. You go into a clear water lake and start with something a little more subtle, something that looks natural, like a bait fish that would be swimming in that habitat. The easiest way to keep track of it is just start with a clear lake, go with a more natural color to start with, and then move more aggressive from there. Murky water lake, start with a real bright, vibrant color, and then move the other way from there. And that'll help get you in the ballpark, help you zero in on the right color just a little bit faster. There he is. Here he comes. Look at him. He looked at that. He took a second and just pounded into it. Man, I'll tell you what, it's fun when they do that, when you can see them. Oh man, look at that. Got a little problem here. That fish has that glow spoon all the way down his throat. I'm gonna have to get that out of there before I can untangle it. When he saw that thing, he just ripped into it. Nothing wrong with that walleye right there. I'll catch those all day long. I'm gonna let that one go because I think we're gonna keep catching them all day long. Now, you know, we've talked a little bit about color and you know what it means, shallow water, deep water, so on and so forth. But here's something that I want you to think about. So far, everybody that's done anything with color, it's been a paint job, put on a spoon or paint on a jig or something like that. There's only so many different ways that you can approach color when you're just going to spray something on. But I want you to look at something. This is the Lindy glow spoon, and this is a whole different take on how to produce color. This is a bait that's made like a crankbait, so you can have any series of colors that you want. Just think about all the times that you fish with a crankbait and there's one little magic color that you want to use under a certain set of circumstances. Well, this bait takes that into account. We've got 12 different colors that are all set up, and each one of those colors we can put this glow stick right into the body of the bait, and so rather than making a glow, it makes it illuminate. Whatever the color of the bait is, that glow stick lights it up. So if you've got natural colors, it lights it up as a natural color. If you've got a bright color, it lights it up as a bright color. And one of the things that's really good about it is how versatile that makes these baits. You know, we put the glow stick in there, and one interesting thing about the glow stick is that if you're in deep water, dark water, something like that, that glow is actually noticeable to the fish. If you're fishing clear water, you just leave that glow stick right in there and fish it anyway, because if it's really bright conditions, the glow isn't noticeable. You still have that beautiful natural finish. And I think that's what really makes this glow spoon work out so well, is because the finish is natural, but you can really fire it up. You can illuminate it by putting that glow stick in there, so you got the best of both worlds. Oh man, look at that. Here he comes. He took one look at that thing. He just came plowing up into it. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's fun when you see him do that. I've never seen this many fish take one look at a bait and just come ripping into it like that. I'll tell you what, this glow spoon is something that's going to change the way people look at color for ice fishing. And I'll tell you what, this is one time you want to catch walleyes like that one. This is one time you have to take a look at something new that comes along. The glow spoon, they come in 3 sizes, 12 colors. You're going to find something that you like about every single one of them, believe me. Grab some and let's go fishing.